Hey, what's up guys? My name's Spooky. I'm a top 500 Mei player, and this is my Mei guide for Overwatch 2. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe here on YouTube or follow me on Twitch so you can take notes on how I play live. Anyways, make sure you have something to write with. Let's get this thing started. I know I always get comments about the receipts, so here's my competitive Season 1 for Overwatch 2, by the way, with Mei primarily being the most played, with a 63% win rate that season. So first off, I want to talk about Mei's Endothermic Blaster. This is her primary fire. This got a massive buff from Overwatch 1, and now in Overwatch 2 is probably one of the strongest things in her kit right now. Starting with her damage, it's 100 per second. They receive a 40% movement penalty. This is huge, especially for like tanks or faster DPS, because you can really lock them in place, make it much easier for your other DPS or your tanks to be able to finish off kills. Now moving on to her right click or the secondary fire on her Endothermic Blaster. This is what we like to call Icicle. For a standard body shot, it's 75 damage and is able to headshot and gets a 2x multiplier. That means if you hit a headshot on any target, it's going to do 150 damage. This used to be the stronger part of her gun in Overwatch 1, but now it's kind of like it's kind of overshadowed by the primary. Now the primary is very strong, but using secondary is a very easy way to contest widows. There is no damage drop off on this, so you can shoot from across the map. It's going to do the same amount of damage, and it's really good for farming your ult without getting too close to the fight. But make sure to be careful not to use this too often, as you don't want it to replace your primary fire, because that primary fire really is going to be the biggest part of your gameplay. Next up is Mei's Cryo-freeze, and does make you invulnerable, and it heals as well as reloads your gun a slight bit while you're in Cryo-freeze. Although a lot of people use this to heal themselves, its primary use is to block abilities, and I'm going to talk more about that later. Now, the most important thing about Mei's kit is her ice wall. This massive wall has so many different uses in game, and I'm going to go over all of them here in just a sec. Mei's ultimate Blizzard is an ultimate that freezes targets in a certain area of effect. This used to be stronger in Overwatch 1, but unfortunately it's a little bit harder to get freezes nowadays. Still has its values, and I will go over how to get good value out of ult later on in the video. First off, I'm going to take you guys into a match with AI so I can go over exactly how her abilities are used in different ways. And then once I've covered everything, I'm going to take you into a real life top 500 match and narrate my thought process and why I'm doing what I'm doing throughout the match. Okay, so first off, I want to talk about how to use Mei Wall. Mei Wall has like a ton of different uses in this game, and not a lot of people know about all of them, or at least don't think that they're as useful as they are. There's a few ways to play Mei here, okay? So first off, you can use Wall to block incoming damage towards you and your team. This is great to either get yourselves out of a fight or get yourselves close to a fight without taking damage. Next off is using Wall to split up enemies so you can focus them down more easily as a team. So for example, if I have this big group of people that are in here, then I want to split them up so our team can focus maybe one or two of them down so we can actually secure kills. I'm usually going to wall behind them so we can focus it down and prevent them from pushing forward and the rest of their team from supporting them from behind. So we're going to be able to get kills that way a little bit easier than from just walking in and trying to kill them. You can also use Wall to wall yourself up to get into high ground so you have a better position to take fights very quickly. Since Mei doesn't really have any mobility, this is a very useful thing to contest people on high ground that aren't expecting Mei to be able to contest them up there. This is super useful against long range snipers or mid range DPS. Finally, you can use Wall to block abilities from yourself or your teammates, like so. So you can block all that stuff very quickly. If you see that you're going to have like a lot of damage coming in or a lot of people are going to invest abilities, it's a very easy way to block several of them all at the same time. All right, next up is Cryo-freeze. Now, first and foremost, Cryo-freeze does heal, replenish your ammo, and cleanse abilities. So let's say we take some damage here. All right, we're taking damage. I need to heal up. And let's say I've used a little bit of ammo too. You can see in the bottom right. We're going to heal ourselves up. You see in the bottom left, but also the bottom right, we're also reloading our ammo. So when we're out, we're up to full ammo again. Now, this doesn't reload a completely empty clip, but it is very useful if you're like in a pinch and you still need some ammo to actually fight when you get out. It's super helpful. Now, you can also use Ice Block to cleanse yourself from abilities like Anti, Discord Orb, basically any status effects you can clear with Ice Block. Now, probably the most useful and the most common use of Ice Block for top tier players is going to be using Ice Block to block abilities. So let's say you don't have Wall up, and Wall takes a little bit of time to cast, actually get set up and cast, but Cryo-freeze you can do very quickly. So let's say somebody's about to use an ability on you that's going to either kill you or get you seriously injured. You can Cryo-freeze before it happens to block it. This is very common for blocking Roadhog hooks, Rissa javelins, Pharah barrages, essentially anything you can think of that puts you in danger. You can use Cryo-freeze to block it so you don't take that damage. So here we go up. block the javelin, block all the other abilities. That's great. So we now got all those abilities out from the team, and we did that all with just Cryo-freeze. Now her primary fire I do want to talk about. This is a great way to farm up headshots from a distance without putting yourself in too much danger. This is a great way to get your ult ready to go as you're fighting, to charge it up. Now you can get a lot of picks this way, but still her primary is probably the more important part of her kit. So you're probably going to poke like this until your team actually is able to push up to the point, and then you're going to be laying on that left click more often. So to put this all together, maybe we're trying to push up into that point. They're running a lot of poke heroes, a lot of people that can shoot from a distance, and we're running more of a brawl comp. So we want to get close to them without taking much damage. You know, our team's pushing up here. I'm going to wall in front of that team, so our team's able to push up here and get all the way up into their face without taking any damage, and then we're going to go and brawl them right up in their face, especially with like Reinhardt or Junker Queen, or even maybe able to get Hog up there, and we're going to lay on this left click to slow everybody down that it hits, and let the rest of our team focus them down. And then let's say we have another wall. We want to focus down maybe one of their supports so we can get an actual pick. We're able to wall off this Brigetta, and then the rest of our team will probably be able to secure that pick. All right, so now I'm going to take you guys into an actual competitive match here. I'm going to try to narrate as much as I can about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, so you guys can kind of get an idea of how to use these walls, how to use these Cryo freezes, how to use your ultimates, how to stay alive, and how to get the most value out of Mei. Now, like I said earlier, the best way to really learn how to play Mei is to watch me live so you can get an idea of multiple matches. You can ask me questions. You can compare gameplay to yours to mine so you can see how you're kind of stacking up, how you're getting value with Mei. Go to twitch.tv/TSG_Spooki. I'm streaming all the time, so you guys will be able to catch me definitely. All right, so let's jump into this match. King's Row. All right, let's do this thing. So this is King's Row, which is a pretty good Mei map for the most part. There's a lot of corridors to wall people off. A lot of times that there's going to be those long corridors, you're also going to have to wall to block damage as you're pushing up to them. So just kind of going into the fight with an idea of how you're going to be using wall. We do have Ana, Kiriko, Tracer, Hog. So it's kind of honestly a ragtag group. But the main thing is that we're going to be playing with our Hog here. He's going to need a lot of support as like an off tank from Mei, to either prevent him from taking a bunch of damage, to help him get out, or securing kills when he lands hooks. So he pulls them in, we wall behind, and we're able to focus down the target so they don't get Suzu'd from their enemy team, naded, bubbled, whatever, any support, that wall is going to be able to cut them off from. All right, here we go. So our Hog's looking a corner here. I'm not going to peek until he peeks, because I want to make sure that he's taking the most of the damage. Goes for the hook, doesn't land it. Not too worried about him getting hooked from here, though. This isn't really like a area where if he gets hooked, he's really going to die. So we go for the Zen here. The Zen's a pretty good opportunity. I wall behind the Hog so we can pressure him a little bit, and also prevent damage as we push up in to take that space on point here. So he goes for the hook. Don't have wall to help him out here, but I think he should be fine. What we're probably going to do is save block to prevent hook from Hog, and then wall out the rest of the team so they can't push in with him here. Finish up the cap here. Very good push on the point. Just got to keep an eye on that Echo behind. Try not to get hooked by the Hog. If he peeks us again, like aggressive peeks, we're going to use that block preemptively, like right now, to block the hook, just like that. So you can kind of see it when Hogs are looking for those, because they'll start pushing up aggressively. That means they're probably looking for the hooks there. Again, we still have wall. We're playing these corners, so in case he does go for the hook, we can break it on the corners, or we have something to hide behind. We're not going to push out just yet until we have some more pressure. Like this, I'm going to use this to push out a little bit. That's Suzu, help our Hog out here a little bit, but still playing our wall, so we don't take damage from the supports. We got naded. We can probably live without blocking since we're not getting pushed. There we go. So I'm going to push up. Probably wall off the Ana right up here. So communicate with your team to make sure they know. I'm going to block to prevent the nade. So I cleared the ability on that. She's going to be down. She does get Suzu'd as well, and I get taken out. Unfortunately, our team was not able to push up in time to help us out with the supports. But that's kind of the idea, is forcing that stuff out, getting her isolated, forcing people to drive back to her. Now, if there was literally one more person with us during that fight, we would have killed their Ana. Probably, if it was at the right moment, probably their Kiriko as well. I'm going to get spawn camp from these two. So I'm basically just going to play safe. I'm not even going to try to get with my team. I'm going to let them waste their time, their abilities, trying to oh, I'm stuck. Trying to get on me. I can pressure the Tracer with my left click here. Force out her recall. Got that down. So they're spawn camping naturally. We'll probably let our team know that this is happening, but hopefully they win the fight up front. We'll regroup with them here in the next fight. Now, with that being said, during that entire time that we were getting pressured by the Tracer and the Echo, our team pushed the cart almost all the way to the last checkpoint. So that means we basically got all that cart space for free. So I'm really happy with that trade, actually, because now this next fight, we're going to be able to win with just one fight. I'm going to help our Ana, since I know that Tracer's backlining. I'm going to keep her back here. Just keep pushing up, Ana. I'll keep pressuring her. So my job is basically just to negate this Tracer. I'm going to wall it out so Tracer can't get to us. Try to hit the Echo here. I'm going to miss a few shots, though. Carefully. The Tracer's still behind us, guys. Okay, so we got some picks in the front line here. Try to pressure the Tracer out. Still got her pretty low. We go down here.
Is there no recall?
Our Hog's pushing payload, though. The interesting thing about this fight is that their DPS are backlining us a lot, but they're giving us all this card space for free. And if we're able to keep capitalizing on it, we're just going to cap this point. Cool. So even though we died during that fight, we're still getting value by pulling the DPS off away from the fight, and our front line is actually able to win the fight. You're noticing that our Hog is actually winning the fight on the front line just about every fight with our Kiriko, because we're taking 2 DPS's attention away from the fight. So we're actually getting value without actually killing anything or helping anybody out. We're actually getting that value because we're doing kind of a 2-to-1 trade on those fights. Now right here, I can wall out the Hog so we can pressure him here. Gives us some time. He's separated from his team. He's going to get a hook, but we're going to be able to do this as well. This is actually pretty good. We might still be able to win this. He cuts off the freeze with the box, unfortunately. It was a good attempt for sure. It's a good wall, good freeze. Just didn't work out like we wanted it to. Okay, so we're looking for a Hog to get this hooks here. Kind of just doing some poke damage so we can try to get another Blizzard built up. Still got the Tracer behind. That's their Hog. That's actually a huge pick for us. We can start pushing in here a little bit. Yeah. Supports just keep playing together. We'll push up. I want to Hog. Oop. Trying to keep him up here. So we got Payload moving. Kiriko down. Yeah, this is actually working out really nicely because their team's playing like super split. We go for the hook, help our Hog secure that kill by slowing down the Hog so we can actually get those kills. So again, the left click does actually do more damage than the right click, just body shot wise. Now we're going to left click just to pressure them out, slow them down to make it super easy for everyone to focus them down. Pressure the Ana from a distance. Go for the right click, but we don't really have to if we're feeling... Oh, I was just going for the wall there too. If you feel like you can't hit the right click, you can always just left click the Tracer. It gets a lot of value, it forces out her blinks, and still does a lot of damage. We'll take out Mei here. There we go. Big. I'm going to wall it off so we can cut off that Tracer so she can't touch, and we'll cap the point. So a pretty good time bank, 2 minutes, 28 seconds. It was a little bit different of a fight there on attack. No, typically, you won't see that kind of split gameplay in top 500, like both TPS backlining while the front line's kind of doing their own thing. But like I said, it worked out in our favor because we took the attention of 2 DPS away with just one of us, and then our front line was able to win those fights. Now, after getting backlined, I definitely learned from that mistake. So when I heard the Tracer pressuring the backline, I made sure to help the Ana back there because I know all I have to do is left click the Tracer. I don't even have to kill her. I just have to pressure her enough to force out her blinks, and then she's not going to be able to keep engaging on her Ana. So that's why with Mei, you'll notice like sometimes you don't get that much damage, sometimes you don't get that many limbs. Like I think right now, yeah, I'm like at 2,900. I have very low damage compared to a lot of other the DPS and the tanks in the lobby, but I'm still getting value by providing protection to my supports and assisting my tank and securing kills, and that's where I'm getting most of my value from.
Attackers incoming.
All right, so now on defense, gonna be playing with our tank. Want to make sure we don't get picked. We got to kind of get an idea of what they're playing. It looks like they're playing the same thing, but they do have a Genji now, and Genji's actually really good for Mei because we can slow him down and pressure him through deflect. So again, I'm still waiting for the hook. Beautiful hook from our Hog, walling it up, pressuring it so it slows him down, keeping like much easier for our team. Oh my lord, the Hog comes out. Fortunately, we don't kill him quick enough, but slowing him down makes it much easier for our team to land headshots. And if they're using that, we can delete Hogs very quick. So that's why I usually don't go for the right clicks when I roll them off. I just go for the freeze because it slows them down and makes them super easy targets to get headshots on. So our Hog just got hooked. I'm gonna hold the wall. He looks fine, so I'm not gonna use it though. Now, if he was low or discorded or antied, I was... Oh, my lord. So you see that Hog comes out of nowhere? That's why we want to have that block ready. Now, It would be better to use the block before he goes for the hook, but sometimes, you know, oh my lord, he's getting it every time. A crucial part of playing this hero, by the way, is learning from your deaths. So now that we know the hog is going to be landing hooks, I know he wasn't going for me that last hook, but he was still, you know, looking for our hog hook. It's better to block preemptively and make it a wasted block than to not block and get hooked. So now that we're getting hooked a lot, I'm going to make sure that anytime I see the hog looking in my direction and I know he has hook ready, I'm just going to block. So he just used it on our hog. He's probably going to have it here again soon. I'm going to wait for our hog to get a pick. Might even hold wall in case he looks for it. This might be a good time to use wall defensively if he goes for the hook. There you go. There you go. So I'm going to use that. Then we can push down on this Genji. Perfect. This gave our hog the support he needed, the defense that he needed to get healed up or not die from all the damage from behind him. Or, sorry, in front of him. We're going to use this wall, cut off the hog from their supports. Again, hog has hook now, so I'm going to play it back a little bit. This might be a good time to use freeze, but we get the pick on the hog, so I'm not going to need to use it. Block to prevent the stickies. Okay, a little bit of right click on the Kiriko up here. Just kind of poking right now. If we get a pick, great. If we don't, whatever. We already have freeze. So we're going to play a little bit back. This choke's really good for Mei. So we definitely like our chokes. Makes it a little bit easier, right? That's hog hook. We saw that going. I'm going to block this. I'm going to block this. I'm going to freeze too because they're going to be pushing up, and this is going to prevent them from pushing up with the thing. That also pulled out the Suzu, so I can get the Kiriko with that. We're pressuring the payload. Hog won, by the way, in library. He just healed. He just healed. And I'm going to die on payload because I'm definitely not getting out of this fight because I'm not a fast hero. So I'm definitely going to die on payload. So I'm going to wall this to keep our Orisa up. She's taking a lot of damage. She still goes down, but that gave her some time here. Ana, we're going to pressure the payload. Probably the Genji is an awesome target for us to pressure. Got him on that. That was a lucky headshot, not going to lie. But we're kind of picking our targets. You see how I kind of let that hog push back into our backline? Because we didn't have a tank anymore in the amount of damage we needed to secure a kill on the tank. I was going to get more value by pushing up onto their squishies on the payload and pressuring them.
Thank you.
So kind of poking, just trying to get some hit markers here. If it's a pick, great. Now we have the hog back. Remember, our goal here right now, especially after those deaths, is to not die to hog hook. So we really only push until we see the hog hook. And if we don't see it, we get ready with our abilities to block it. Pressuring the Genji with our left click. Again, not trying to play it by luck. We don't have to make the game harder for ourselves. We can just pressure with the left click. Does plenty of damage. We're pretty low. I don't want to get body shot with kunai. We can come back out of that, pressure the Kiriko, finish it off with a nice melee to make sure we land that last shot. That's hog hook out of range there. Genji deflect as well that we saw. Now with the Orisa, we can't play. We're not going to play as far up, even though I kind of would like to. Right now, we're going to play defensively. Our Ana just got slept. We heard that behind us, so we're going to look for that hog hook. If he was going for it, I was going to either block with my Cryo-freeze, or I was going to use my wall to prevent our Ana from being hooked or headshot or whatever they're trying to go for here. There we go. I can wall the Genji off so we can secure the kill on him, maybe. Uh-oh, that's the hog. So we're going to back off. We're not even going to try to go for the kill. Well, the Tracer can do it. That's fine. Getting a kill and dying is not a good trade in this game, especially on defense. If you die and get a kill, it's not a good trade. I'm gonna wall the hog off though. This is kind of free. They might have Kiriko freeze. Hog's pushed up. There you go. So even though we didn't freeze them, we cut them off from the team so we could actually focus them a little bit. They weren't gonna push up into that wall when the freeze was happening because a lot of them could not get through that. So we kind of cut the hog off from. We're gonna block early. I was thinking about using the wall there to block the dash from him, but instead we're gonna do this. Nice Kiriko. We can pressure the Genji. He's won, but we're not gonna get the kill. But it's fine. We try to live. That's our goal. Live. Get value and live. Okay, we're going to block here. I'm going to wall this off so our Kiriko can try to help me out. Sorry, she might be able to get pick on the Echo. That's fine, by the way. They waste the Echo ult on that. We already lost that fight. This is great. We have plenty of time to contest on second. So we kind of provided the pressure there that last fight to make him invest some stuff. I'm surprised the Echo did use the ult there. That's kind of weird. But remember, it's all about surviving and still getting value with Mei as long as possible. So you'll notice after we started playing a little bit safer with the hog hooks, we haven't been getting picked. Playing a little bit far back. Now that we see that, we can go in with the wall. I might have cut off my Kiriko a little bit. We're going to block it to make sure we don't die there. That's big. I can help follow up with the bomb, but we get hooked. Almost got it. I think that was worth, though. Okay, so we're going to play back just a little bit here. Poke while we're getting the team regroup. Might be able to get the Ana. Again, take your time lining up these shots. Kind of just go for general areas where people play. Mei's not a hit scan, so it's less reactionary based and more predicting where they're going to be. So it's a lot about kind of thinking about where they're going to be and just kind of spamming that area. I like to hold on my right click as much as possible because sometimes you get a lucky shot. And you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, you know what I mean? So I might wall this off here if our Arista starts getting pressure, which she is. Nana's worn off, so I'm going to wall this off. She's not going to live, I don't think. Oh, there we go. Okay. I was playing a little risky there. We're going to throw this, play a little aggressive here. Just go for the Ana and the Genji. This might be pretty big, though. Genji's probably going to get out. I can probably contest him up here by using the wall if I can reach him. There we go. So block that hook for our Arista. She doesn't have to waste her fortify. So Hog's gonna have hook right about now. So as long as we're playing a little bit further back, I'm gonna... Oh, there it is. Yeah, we saw him eyeballing us, so we had that Cryo ready to go. Oh, damn. That was good. That was a good pulse. But it's overtime, which is great. Third point, we get a whole nother fight here, which means no matter what, we're not going to lose this game. So that's great. So we can start adjusting our playstyle here a little bit. We have time. We're not rushed out of the door. We can wait for our Arista to come. Now, the nice thing is that Mei wall is perfect for pushing out so you don't get spammed out of spawn doors when people are pushed up to prevent you from coming out. We're going to use that to clear real quick. Use that. All right, so I'm going to wall this forward right here. I'm probably going to die if I don't get healed. But we got pressure on the Hog here, which is great. I can push up. Ana's pretty low. We got our block ready to go. I'm going to pressure the Ana here. This is probably the pick we want. Where we're going to get most value. That's cleanse on the Ana, though. Okay. So 2.5 minutes to push here. Not a lot of time. But the important things that we were noting here is that 2.5 minutes is definitely enough time to build up a mail. We're going to be playing with our Hog, probably poking a little bit. We're not going to be pushing in too hard because we don't want to feed a lot of ult charge for a whole team fight. We're basically going to be poking and looking for picks before we do anything, trying to farm up our Mei ult. Because honestly, once we get our Mei ult, as long as we have a good solid team fight, we're going to win the game. So that's what I'm kind of thinking. We're not going to like rush into point like go, 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 go. Because if we do lose the fight, it's going to be very hard to win because they're going to have a lot of ult charge for the team and we're not going to have that much ult charge. So it's going to be a lot of poking, farming our ult, looking for picks. If our Hog does get a hook and we get a massive hook and kill the main tank, then we can push in and just slowly over time as we push in, we're going to win the match. So it's kind of mentally preparing for how this match is going to go is what I'm doing here. But still leaving things open for interpretation. They're running a Hog, which is great. There you go. They did get a pick. So again, we're playing pretty slow here. Probably gonna wall it for our Hog to get out. I don't know if he will get out though, because we got people all around us right now. Trying to make sure we don't die here. Tracer one, no recall, no recall. I can wall the Hog. Wall the Hog, wall the Hog. He's half. It's all right. So again, playing slow here. Hog and raid. We're using that. Cleanse goes. That's their Hog, but we're down a lot of abilities, so we're going to keep poking here. Kind of playing for an opportunity. I've got wall ready to go. I'm going to wall it forward. Pressure them going to point. Kiriko one, Kiriko one, Kiriko one, Kiriko one, Kiriko one. So that's actually a pretty good pick here. I can pressure the Ana. That's kind of my goal. I'm on the Ana with you. Ana one, Ana one, Ana one, Ana one, Ana one, Ana one. Tracer, don't. Oh no.
I don't have any blinks.
Oh, you stopped shooting her with me. She's like one.
I recalled.
Oh, gotcha,
the
gotcha.
Tracer was following.
You're good, man. You're good. Oh, she was right there. But if you guys look at our ult charge meter here, we're at 85. So we're going to have Mei freeze this fight. So just need to poke it a little bit. Now we're definitely going to have Mei freeze this fight.
60 seconds remaining.
So we look for the Hog hook here. We can play it nice and slow. Up our... That's the cleanse. That's fine. We can push back here. Just got to be careful of the nano hog. Pulled out some ults. Oof. So they used their nano and their blade. Still very winnable. Oh, this is definitely winnable, dude. Yeah, we nano our hog and Kitsune rush and we win this. So we got 3 ults. This is good. So whenever you're ready, you can look for the hook. Yep, go for it. Do it, do it, do it. Just pushing, just pushing. Yeah, pushing the tracer with the left click here. Oh, on point, on point. There we go. We're gonna wall this off to make sure we secure that cap, and boom. That's how we get the dub. A little bit close, a little bit close. Obviously, things went sideways a couple times. So like I said with Mei, Mei's definitely still a hero where she does a lot of damage, and she can when she gets nice and close or just poking from a distance. But her real value comes with supporting the team through her walls and through her Cryo blocks to make sure that she's able to support a team. You could probably see out of that entire gameplay that my wall was the most crucial thing that I was using to secure picks or keep our team alive. And that's why I said at the beginning of the video, the Mei wall is absolutely massive. It is the biggest part of her kit. And that's why I want to stress that. I just cannot stress that enough. Good Mei players use their walls properly and stay alive. And that is how you climb up with Mei. If you guys have any questions about Mei, please drop a comment below asking a question, either myself or anybody else. We'll be more than happy to answer it. I'll try to answer as many as I can personally. Or if you'd like to get a direct answer from me, just stop by my stream at twitch.tv/TSG_Spooki or here on YouTube, and I'll be able to answer those questions for you. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this super detailed breakdown on how to play Mei and how to play her at a top 500 level. Hopefully you guys enjoy playing her. She's still a very viable pick. Despite contrary belief, I still think she can get a lot done. She's not, I wouldn't say she's an S or an A tier pick, you know, but she's definitely middle of the pack. Like, she's definitely still able to provide a lot of value. So if you enjoy playing her, dude, by all means, go for it. Hopefully this guide helped you. If it did, make sure to like, subscribe to the channel. I'm posting Mei content like all the time, so you guys can see some more videos related to educational Mei stuff. Anyways, again, my name is Spooki. Hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you on the next one. Keep it spooky. Peace. Hey guys, here's a little bonus section for those that made it to the end of the video. I do get a lot of questions about what my settings are, what my video settings, my sensitivity, my reticule, why I use yellow as my color for enemies. So I'm going to go over all that for you guys. So if we head into options, first off, these are my video settings. I do keep it on full screen because that reduces input lag and increases the amount of frames that I'm able to produce from my graphics card. It's a lot less taxing on it. I run at my native resolution for my monitor, which is 920 by 1080 with 144 refresh. Render scale is at 100%. I do know some people that like to up the render scale a little bit. It gives it a little bit more clarity to the game, but this does tax your graphics card a little bit. So I usually just keep that at 100, but if you got room to spare, you can up that render scale if you'd like. I cap my maximum frame rate at 154, which is 10 over my refresh rate. But that's only because I'm also streaming while I do this, so there's a lot being used on my computer. Now, if I wasn't streaming, I would uncap this completely, go as many frames as you can get, because the more frames you introduce into your game, the less input lag you're gonna have, which means you'll have a faster reaction time when it comes to your mouse movement. I keep VSync off because this also introduces input lag into your game, but does eliminate screen tearing. If you're having an issue with that, just be aware VSync introduces a lot of input lag into Overwatch. Triple buffering off, reduce buffering off. If you do have one of the RTX NVIDIA cards, make sure you do have NVIDIA Reflex enabled plus boost. Graphics quality settings, you definitely want to, it's up to preference. The lower you have it, the more frames you're going to be able to make. So if you're wanting to go for performance, usually keep these as low as you can while still making it playable. That's going to make sure that your input lag is as little as possible. But for me, I still like my game to look a little bit pretty while I play it, because I am making videos and such, so I don't want the games to look ugly. But if you guys do have you know, like if you're not worried about how the game looks, you just want to play really well, go low on everything. Low, and only turning up things that are specifically important to the game, and I'm gonna go over those right now. So graphics quality, I keep it medium. This keeps the game looking pretty decent. Texture quality is at high. This introduces a lot of stuff into the game that would not be there otherwise, that I do like looking at. Now texture filling quality, the filtering, I keep it low. Local fog detail, I keep it low. Dynamic reflections, I keep it off. Now, shadow detail, I keep at ultra. This is because in-game there's a lot of shadows that are cast, especially from enemies, that'll give you a very big advantage if you're able to see them around corners. Model details at medium, effects detail at medium. This just keeps the game looking pretty while still giving me a lot of good frames. And the rest of these, I keep it low, or, you know, just about as low as possible. I got low, low, low. Screenshot quality, if you want to take really pretty screenshots in Overwatch, you guys can up this. I might actually up mine even to 7x now. This completely ups your screenshot game. So if you want to take really beautiful screenshots in Overwatch, make that 7x. Ambient occlusion off, local reflections off, damage FX off, or sorry, low. Things I like to monitor while I'm playing is my frame rate and my GPU temperature. Those are the two things that are most important to me while I'm playing. My network latency, this is just if I'm noticing some rubber banding. It's a quick way for me to check to see if my ping is really high and if that's the culprit. And then if you want to have a system clock, make sure you display system clock here. This is the little thing in the top right, so you always know what time it is when you're playing Overwatch, and you don't suddenly notice that it's 6 a.m. in the morning and you're still playing Overwatch and you're like, oh. All the sound settings, these are completely up to preference depending on your headset, or if you're using earbuds or whatever. That's all going to depend on what you're using, so I'm just going to skip over that for you guys. Not that these aren't important, just make sure that you're looking at the settings for your headset and your audio system before you set these up. Now you'll notice that my sensitivity in game is 2%. That does not mean that you should have a 2% game sensitivity. There are two factors that go into your game sensitivity. That is your in-game sensitivity, which for me is 2%, and then it's your DPI, which stands for dots per inch. This is kind of like your mouse resolution, and it's going to depend on what kind of mouse you have and whether they have multiple DPI settings. My mouse, which is the Zowie EC2A, I keep at a 1800 DPI, and an easy way to calculate my Overwatch sensitivity is to multiply my DPI versus my in-game sensitivity. So that's 1800 times 2, which is going to be an eDPI of 3600. So for example, if you're running like a 1200 DPI mouse, you're going to have closer to a 3% in-game sensitivity, which will give you the same eDPI of 3600. My reticle, I typically like to keep it as a crosshair. It's easier for me to see, and I found it much better to lead targets with the crosshair than any other reticle that I found. Out of all the colors, green definitely stands out the most for me. Now you can experiment with this. I've tried just about all of them. White's not bad either, but it definitely starts to blend in a little bit. But green definitely is one that's very easy to stick out in game if I ever need to reference my crosshair. If you'd like to, feel free to just copy these settings if you want to use my exact crosshair. Make sure you have allied health bars turned on to default and show friendly outlines as always. This is crucial information into your game. It's things that are going to show you if your teammates have taken any damage. These are really important, especially for Mei, to know if you need to wall off so you can save them, or need to help pressure whoever is like on them. It's just really good information. You want to have as much information as possible while you're playing Overwatch. Left shift for ice block, E for wall, Q for ultimate, F for interact. Left click, right click is the same. Now, if you get a gameplay in HUD, I do like to have sounds on. This is nice cues for me when enemies die or friendlies die, because a lot of times when you're in a fight, you can't really look up at the top right when there's a lot going on to see if anybody died in your team. So I like to have those audio cues to know whether somebody died or if an enemy was eliminated, so I can make quicker decisions. So I do have play sound when enemy eliminated on. You can't see it behind my head, but this one, play sound when enemy is eliminated, that one's on. Play sound when a teammate is eliminated is also on. Make sure that the player outline strength is at 100%. This is so it's going to be easier to see teammates and allies. And then on your waypoint opacity and your respawn point respawn icon opacity, you want to make sure both of those are a little bit lower, like a little bit less than half. Those are like the icons on the screen that show where objectives are and everything. Now the problem with those being completely like 100% seeable is that they're going to cover targets sometimes in your game. So you want to make sure those are off so you're able to actually see the targets that you're shooting at. Career profile visibility, I like to keep on public because we ain't no wimps here. Ooh. Under accessibility in general, make sure camera shake is on reduced. This is going to make the game much easier to look at. HUD shake is off. Reduce menu movement on. This is just going to make all the stuff in the game, instead of jiggling around a bunch, it's going to make it very static, so the game is a little bit easier to watch, to consume. Keeping those on is going to make the game seem much more chaotic, so I always recommend again, camera shake reduced, HUD shake off, reduce menu movement on. If you have trouble hearing in game, feel free to turn on subtitles. Now this is how I get my enemies to look yellow. I just go to the color blindness setting. I keep all of these the same for me. I find that blue is still still really good for my teammates. Red, however, is a little bit harder for me to see. It tends to blend in with a lot of the maps since there's a lot of red colors, like darker orange colors, so it tends to blend in. It's a little bit darker of a color. Yellow, however, is very bright, very noticeable, and sticks out from backgrounds. So that's why I changed the enemy color up here, enemy UI color. Instead of it being the default red, I put it on yellow. Now you can experiment with different ones, find whichever one sticks out to you the most. Yellow just seems to be the one that works for me. And that's it for my settings. Thanks for watching my top 500 Mei guide. I hope you guys did appreciate it. See you around.